Welcome to Unshakeable with Human Design, the show dedicated to helping entrepreneurs use human design to shift from hustle to flow without sacrificing results. Come here to become an unshakable human and build an unshakable business according to your human design. I'm your host, Nicole Laino. Hello and welcome to Unshakeable with Human Design, everybody. I'm your host, Nicole Laino, and we are here together today to do a transit episode. Christina Luna is not with me for this episode, unfortunately. Honestly, it was my fault. We didn't schedule this in time, so I just had to jump on and get this episode recorded for you by July 1st. I am feeling the kids home for the summer. My son is home for the summer, and literally June flew by like I don't even know where it went. So today I'm here alone. She will be back with us hopefully next month. But I want to talk to you about the July transits because they are interesting. There is an interesting little calendar coming up for us. But I wanted to start out talking about a little bit of a highlight of my own experience, and Christina and I usually do this together, but I reflect on June and what came up for me. And one of the things that came up for me that I think could be useful for you, because if you feel like there's ever a point where when I get to this point with human design, then everything will be so clear and I won't have any shadows and I won't be in the low expression of anything anymore. That's just not true. That's an unattainable goal, and I want to put that out there for you. You just get better at observing it and knowing what it is and not freaking out about it, but it doesn't go away. It doesn't stop it from happening. As Christina refers to it, our recipe, but our design, the codes that are in my design and in your design, they react differently to the codes that are coming in from the cosmos. What we're all experiencing out there, the collective code that we're all under at any given moment. We have different ways that our codes react and interact with those codes. And I just have an anecdotal story. I co-work with a very good friend of mine, Audie Greenspun. She's been on the show before. She's a personal branding coach and photographer. And I co-work with her, and I was having a really hard time finding my words and knowing what to say, and really felt blocked, like in my throat chakra, really, really blocked. And I don't obsess over the transits. I don't sit there and plan my launches around when this gate is in or when this gate is not. I don't do that. I might, if I'm choosing between two dates, I might look at it and say, oh, maybe I'll go with this one because this might be easier for me. However, I don't live my life by that. But what I do is when I feel exceptionally good, exceptionally not good, if I'm experiencing something that stands out to me as different from the normal on the better or worse side, I might look at the transits just to see what's going on. What am I interacting with right now? And when I looked at that, when I was feeling stuck in what I was saying, when I was not feeling like I was in flow with my message, I wasn't able to speak as fluently, as clearly I could if I was in response, but I was just not feeling like there was anything for me to give. Content-wise, I just felt like I needed to tap out. And I wasn't really in a time period. We had the Unshakable Human launch going on. We were reaching out to people and letting people know that program was open. If you are interested in that, just DM me on Instagram and I will send you the information. We'll link it in the show notes. But Unshakable Human is the program that we have for embodying your design. And we're doing a new module for it and all of that. And I was just not able to really talk about it. I did, and then the inspiration was gone. And then I looked at the transits and I saw that gate 12 was what we were in. And gate 12 is the gate of caution, the gate of standstill. And the low frequency of that gate is to not have the words, to feel stuck, to feel like you can't speak your voice, you can't speak your truth. And on the other side of the channel, it's connected to an emotional gate, which I don't have. I don't have that one defined in my chart, so it wasn't defining me emotionally or anything like that. But it's almost like I couldn't speak what I was feeling. And that's a low expression of that gate. And I did work on it where I was like, let me get curious about this. And this is how you could start to use the transits to help you understand maybe the areas that are not flowing as consistently for you. And it can help regulate your nervous system because your head isn't going, why is this happening? How do I fix it? Because it's not about fixing it. It's about surrendering to what's there and getting curious about it. And that's just what I did. I got curious about it. I did a little contemplation around some of the themes of that gate. And then I just sort of played with it. And honestly, the other thing that's really comforting to know is that transits only last 6 days. And if it's at a certain time of day that it starts, then it might only be 5 days for you, depending on your time zone of actual work time. So it's all very temporary. It's all moving and shifting. And if you can surrender to that it's not going to be perfect all the time, and then it doesn't need to be, and this too shall pass, then you'll be in a really good space. You'll be in a really good position. This is what flow is about. Flow is about understanding that some of the things we cannot fix, if we surrender to our design, if we lean back into the way our energy works, and we know how to do that, and this is all what Unshakable Human is about, if we're able to do that, where we're able to find the gas pedal, find the brake, and know when we need to coast, then that's the game where you can be more productive and enjoy your life more. I was like, if this is where I'm at right now, maybe I should just go out with my son for a while. I'm going to tap out. Maybe I'm going to catch up on a few other projects that I have that aren't about me being outwardly vocal at the moment, because I'm not feeling that. And can I be in response to the other things that are going on? So that's just one of the ways that you can start to use these transits, and you can come back to these episodes and listen to them again and understand. So if we get to the middle of the month and you're like, what's going on? Because there's some crazy stuff happening in the middle of the month. Then you know that's there, you know what's happening, and you know how you can start to work with it rather than against it. So you're not pushing against resistance, forcing. Because forcing never, I don't care who you are, what you're doing, there's a big no-no. Forcing won't get you what you want. Not in a sustainable way that feels good. And that's really what we're here to help you do on the show. So without further ado, let's get into July. First of all, if you want the calendar for July, if you want to know all of these dates that I'm going to give you and the gates and what's moving into what at what time, just DM me transits on Instagram. I'm at Nicole Laino official, and the bot will send you a link to download the calendar so you can get it there. Okay, let's dive in. July. All right. So July, we start off the month in high fashion with the gate of provocation. The 39th gate of provocation. Now, provocation is not what it sounds like. And you might find, like I just said about my experience with gate 12, you might experience the gift and potential of this gate, or any of the gates, or you might experience its shadow frequency, its lower frequency. And all you want to do is observe it. You just want to know that it's happening and go, oh, okay, I see you. Do I have it defined and this is just amplifying something? Or is this an open gate that is maybe something I'm not used to and I'm figuring it out? All of these things start to help you navigate this little game that we call life. So gate 39 is provocation. So you might experience anything from feeling lack, because 39, while it sits in the root center and it is about fuel, and we hear provocation, we think that it's like provoking, which it is, but it's more about what it's provoking to. It's provoking us to a higher spirit. It is part of a very emotionally spiritual channel. And spirituality is an emotional connection. It's an emotional awareness is what human design starts to teach us. And the 39th gate is the start of that process. But is the kicking off of this provoking us to a higher consciousness, to higher spirit, to what abundance really is. So you might find that gate 39, that provocation at the beginning of the month, might be the low frequency of experiencing some lack, maybe not feeling like there's anything bigger out there, like you're really stuck in your small thinking world, and the potential is expansion. Now, a question I get a lot is, will I feel the next gate before it comes in? So July 1st through 6th is when gate 39 is in its actual transit. But then we move into gate 53 on the 7th. So the question I always get is, will I start to feel gate 53 on July 5th, maybe? Is that something that could happen? First of all, I don't really know the answer to that. I don't know if anyone would know a definitive answer of what you would feel or not feel. But could you feel as we're moving closer to something that you start to feel a little bit of it trickle in? Sure. And recognize that these gates, they're moving around the human design mandala wheel, so they're next to each other. They're neighbors. So there might be some overlap in some of the themes that they may share. And so gate 39 is about triggering that emotional process to spiritual awareness. So you might feel this bubbling up of something. Something's coming. Some sort of higher calling feels like it's really on you at the moment. Now, it might feel like pressure because it sits in the root center. So you might feel these first two gates are pressure gates. So you might feel the pressure to change, to evolve spiritually, maybe in that first week of the month. You might feel either called to something bigger or pressure to make something bigger happen. So notice where you fall on that scale. But then we shift over, second week, we get to another root center gate. It's not pointing at the emotional process. It's pointing at the generator process. It's pointing at the sacral. It is telling us to move, to create something. Let's make something, right? It's gate 53. And this is a gate of maturity. This is a gate that is the spark. It is about new beginnings. It is about taking something from its infant stages to the next stage. It's the spark that lights the fire to get things going in a process, in a cycle. So new cycles may be beginning in this second week. You may feel that. So that bubbling up of something percolating in that first week could kick into gear with that spark, cause the spark, be the inspiration behind the spark of that second week. Now, you might feel a bit of impatience can come with either one of these. That pressure can cause us to feel uncomfortable, that it forces us to act maybe prematurely. And that's certainly a hallmark of that second week gate of gate 53. Moving too quickly. Not really moving when it feels right, but moving because you're so afraid that if you don't move now, nothing will happen. And it's true with all root center stuff. There's always that timing. When is it right? And the truth is that that's the surrender part. But new things will begin on that second week. What they are, I don't know. But this is a gate of expansion. That maturity is about expansion. It is about blooming and creating new things. So that first half of the month is a center of pressure. Pressure builds, and then it needs to go somewhere. And now it's being pushed through that 53rd gate, saying, now let's go create something. And that's that second week of the month. You might feel more of the urge to create something new. The question is it ready? Or is it just getting you ready for when the response comes, the invitation comes, the download comes? What is it? On the 13th of the month through the 18th, we shift now into gate 62. Now we're going into the throat center. Now we're going into more of that action, expression side of our process, of the human process with the throat center. It is the center of manifestation. It is the center of making things happen. So all of that pressure building in the first part of the month, those first 2 weeks, now are coming in, and now it might be expressed. But just because it's a throat center gate doesn't mean it has to come out all at once, because gate 62 is about details. It is about getting your ducks in a row, being organized, having your facts checked. Now, the balance for this one is, can you trust that you're ready enough? It's always the question with gate 62. Gate 62 is going to want to over-prepare. It's going to want to be sure. It's going to be afraid of not having enough information in order to step out and put your voice behind something. So prepare. That first half of the month to me, when I look at it, I'm like, okay, There's some preparing. There is some percolating. And now this is the part where it's not an under the surface process. It's an actual action process. The process of getting organized, of getting your shit together so that you can shift into this second half of the month where we've got a full moon. We have the nodes shift, which the nodes give us our perspective and the way of the world around us. So there's a nodal shift, and this doesn't happen all the time. This happens every few months, but the nodal shift is happening at the same time that we go from Cancer to Leo. So this is that big category shift. When we talk about the gates, I'm talking about subcategories of this bigger energy. But then we get to these bigger categories of the signs that they're under. So we're shifting into Leo, and I'm not going to get super into astrology here because it's not my forte, but I know the signs and I know what they mean. We shift into Leo, which is the gregarious, out there, star, big, bold energy. Leo's the lion. It's taking up space. That's what we're getting ready for. So in that first half of the month, are you using that energy? Are you noticing how you're interacting with it? Allowing it to be there, not pushing. Because that root center is all about being able to sit with something long enough for the pressure to build so that it has to go somewhere. And then it has to go into that organization part. It might want to fine-tune and refine things before the big reveal after the 21st, 22nd of the month, when we have this full moon, the shift into Leo, and the nodal shift that's going to say, ta-da. Now we're in the big Leo energy. Now we are stepping from that gate of details into, on the 19th through the 24th, this whole shift is happening. We're shifting into that big energy of the 56th gate. And the 56th gate is another throat center gate. These last 3 gates of the month are throat center. So they are big energy. They are outward action. This is going to be action time for you. So now we're in Leo and we're in gate 56. And gate 56 is the gate of stimulation. It's the gate of the storyteller. But this is the ta-da gate. It says, I believe, and it really believes it. So what do you believe? What have you been taking in? What are all of the experiences that you've had? What have you been ruminating on that now is ready to be spoken, is ready to be shared, is ready to allow you to step into the spotlight under it? Because 56 is definitely about stepping into the spotlight and saying, here I am, this is what I have to say, and by the way, you're going to love this. It's a stimulating storyteller. It's the ability to hold an audience. That's what lies on the other side of this shift into Leo, into this Leo energy around the 19th of the month. And then it goes until the 24th. And then at the end of the month, that last week of the month, we've got gate 31, another throat center gate, another bit of a ta-da sort of energy, which is the gate of influence. So we've got a stimulating story for you in that 3rd week of the month. And then we're going to shift into that last week where we're going to say, I'm going to show you the way. This is about authority. Gate 31 is the gate of influence. It is the gate that says, I know where you need to go. I know what you need. I get it. Let me show you how to get there. So there's ownership of this. And if you surrender and notice the energy as it moves and how it's interacting with you, don't try to make things happen. Oh, well, Nicole said that I need to be allowing an idea to mature here in the 2nd week. Maybe your idea is mature and it's ready to come out. I don't know. Only you will know. But this will help you navigate how you feel in this time if you get stuck. If you're like, oh, Nicole said this is the ta-da week, I'm supposed to be telling my story and I'm supposed to be stimulating people with what I believe and what I know to be true. Well, the shadow of that gate is distraction. Are you finding yourself being overly distracted? Then you can start to look at the shadow and you see it there and recognize what you are allowing yourself to be distracted by. How does that maybe shift things for you? How does that open you up to flow in a different way here? Does that allow you to share your story because you're not allowing yourself to be distracted? This is the dance. And this is how we start to navigate this little path that we have here and these weeks and months of the changing energy. So if you loved this, we are actually going to be kicking off the Authority Accelerator Masterclass once again, my 5-day free masterclass, which is all about how to build your business and your $1 million message by your human design. So how do we marry purpose with business? How do we build a business that is fueled by our purpose and not just by brute force and hustle? So if you're interested in that, DM me the word masterclass on Instagram and we will register you right there, or go to NicoleLaino.com/masterclass and you can register on the website. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you enjoy this show. Please share it with us on Instagram. Let us know what you think. Share it with your audience so that it helps us spread the word about the show. We appreciate you. And remember, in order to have an unshakable business, you must first become an unshakable human. So thanks for letting us help you become unshakable with human design, everybody. We'll see you next time. If you love this episode and you're a fan of the show, please show us the love on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the show and leave us a review. And if you'd like to connect with other entrepreneurs on their human design journey, join our free Facebook community, Human Design for Entrepreneurs. Go to NicoleLaino.me/podcast links to join the group, book a human design reading with me, or access our free human design resources. We'll see you there.